What's going on, family? It's Johnny here from JohnnyLineup.com. Welcome back for another great video. Today, we're going to be talking about PCS moves for my veterans out there. It's no secret that being in the military, that affords you to benefit, however you want to look at it. I try to look at the glass as always half full, but we move a lot. And with the moves comes opportunities. A lot of times we look at it as a downfall, but there's opportunities. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the benefits of moving around with the military when you PCS, permanent change of station, and go through. So make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for all my veterans out there. And let's go. So we're going to dive right in today, going into one of my most recent blog articles that I put out there, from PCS to passive income, turning your military moves into opportunities. And the big thing is, it is an advantage, y'all. It is an advantage having the VA loan and being able to move, because guess what? You may not buy a property in every duty station that you have, but I guarantee you, out of the first one or two, or even three, you're going to be in a great position. Say a Columbus, Georgia, a Warner Robins, Georgia, a Clarksville, Tennessee, El Paso, Texas, a Hampton Roads, Virginia. Whether you're in Norfolk, you're in the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, there are great opportunities in the Hampton Roads area. These areas are great for cash flow rentals and opportunities to buy foreclosures. And how do I know? Because guess what? I bought multiple foreclosures using my VA loans in those areas. And so that's the thing that we have to look at, and we have to put together a strategy. So now when we're going through and we're moving in PCS, and we're looking for opportunities to build wealth as well. And that's what I was able to do to build up a portfolio over 120 units now. I'm after buying 5 apartment complexes here over the last 3-4 years, and really taking it to the next level. But it started with my VA loan. It started with my service. It started with the PCS moves. And that's the thing that I want to talk a little about first, is the PCS advantage. Like, we're moving around. You get an opportunity to see multiple housing markets, to get the experience in these housing markets, and from there being able to buy assets where you can buy a single family residence, a duplex, a triplex, or a quadplex for, guess what? $0 out of pocket. 100% financing with the VA loan, no money down. All you have to pay is your closing costs. And right now in the market that we're in, you may even be able to get your seller to pay your closing costs. And so one of the great examples that I love is, and I've had up to 3 VA loans simultaneously. 3 VA loans simultaneously. Thank you, Jesus. And that's how we built wealth. That's how we bought HUD foreclosures in 2011, 2013. Used the FHA loan to buy another foreclosure in 2017, refinanced the one that we bought in 2013, and used the jumbo VA loan in 2020 to buy another bank foreclosure. And it's been phenomenal in building wealth and getting us started. And, a great example that I share here in my blog, JohnnyLineup.com, if you want to go and read through the article, was the one that we bought for $280,000 in 2013. We sold it recently last year in 2023 for over $140,000 profit, with the cash flow ever since we moved out in 2017, a little bit over $300 a month in passive income, as well as the appreciation that happens. And guess what? We had no money in the deal. It was an infinite return. And that's what I love about the VA loan, and being able to get into properties with equity up front. It allows you to build wealth extremely fast. One of the things, we look at, we talked about it a little bit up front, the frequent relocations. This is an opportunity, y'all. Like, you're moving around, you can't get distracted. Like, so many times we focus on the mission and mission success, but we don't focus on financial success and putting ourselves and our finances and our family in a great position to benefit, whether we're doing deployments while we're at that duty station, or just long-term building wealth. That we have a lot of opportunities when we move, that we can continue to grow our portfolio, and the VA loan is a great benefit. And that's one of the things, just going into the VA loan and just that entitlement, it just allows you to get into too many opportunities, where now it allows you to get into a deal. You can get into a multi-unit deal. I wish that I knew I could buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex with my VA loan when I was a young lieutenant in the service. Now that I'm less than a year before retirement, yep, that's right. I got to shoot a whole nother video about that. But I dropped my paperwork last week, and it was approved at the beginning of this week for my retirement. I'm super stoked about that. And I'm going to document the journey with you guys leading up to retirement. I shot a podcast last night with Daniel Frost. Shout out to Daniel and his platform that he has. But one of the questions was about, how was the transition process? And I had to tell her, like, man, I started my transition out of the military in 2018. It's 2024. That was over 6 years ago. I started setting myself up for transition out of the service into retirement. I was fortunate enough to hang around for 20 years, but I knew where I wanted to go and I had a plan, I had a strategy. And that's one of the things that I work with a lot of my clients on is really having a financial plan, understanding your income, expenses, your insurance, making sure you're getting the corporate match for your 401k with your employer, and then showing them how do we bring real estate? How do we integrate real estate into your financial plan to give you passive income and ultimately give you time freedom? And that's what it's all about. And being able to go into the deal. And I talked about, we refinanced the house we bought in 2013 and 2020 when I moved to the DC area, bought another foreclosure, used my VA loan. In less than 3 years, y'all built over $400,000 in equity, just buying in the right area and letting time run its course. And that's what I love, because we all know real estate in 2030 is going to be worth more than it is right now. And if you believe that, you should be buying real estate right now. And I think that's one of the things that we always look at. What does the data say? What does the data say? Show me the data. Guess what? Because you can't manage what you can't measure. I'm going to say that again. You can't manage something that you don't measure. You have to measure. You have to have the data. Every business today should be running off data so you can manage it and you can change, evolve with everything that's happening. And so we already know the average military family moves every 2 to 3 years. And right now, 2024 data says 41% of military personnel live on base housing, with 31% off base. And so that leaves the delta between those as those that own. And one of the things that you have to look at, that a large amount of people still rent. And so you can look at that both ways. Those are potential tenants. If you buy a duplex, triplex, quadplex, they can come rent from you. Or, you guys need to get off the sideline and use your VA benefits, 100% finance, and then go find a house so you can start building wealth. You got to just figure out which camp, because the saddest part is a lot of people go their whole entire career. I know people that did over 20 years in the service and never bought a house, never used their VA loan, moving around every 2 3 years. Could have built enormous. If you just bought 2 or 3 houses, that's more than enough wealth over 20 years. The appreciation that, and with no money out of pocket or very little out of pocket, you could have set yourself up for long-term success. So we know right now with the VA loan limit, in most counties right now, 726. Although from most perspective, there isn't a limit per se. But most high cost area, you can go with VA jumbo loan over $1 million. Just had a client of mine down in Chattanooga, Tennessee, just bought over a $1.1 million quadplex. New construction, was built less than a year, leased up, moved into one of the units, charging $2,100 a month rent per unit, bringing in $6,300 a month in rental income. And he's living in one unit with his family. And that's how y'all build wealth. This is how you build wealth. You don't have to have 1,000 doors. You don't have to have 100+ doors like me, but you just start with one deal, manage the one deal, quadplex, do another quadplex in 2 3 years, and then do another one and build wealth. It's a long game. It's a long game. We're not looking to get rich overnight. And that's the thing, but you have to get started. And that kind of goes into the next part. Like, it's all right. We start small. My first house cost me $65,000. It was one side of a duplex. I was paying way less than what I was paying for rent. I think my mortgage was less than $450 a month. I was paying over $700 a month in rent in my apartment complex when I first moved. And I tell you guys my story all the time. Like, it was the most embarrassing thing. I had to have a family member sign on that lease for my first apartment when I joined the service as a lieutenant, because my credit was jacked up, because I didn't know. And so I got my credit together, still had like around a 620, but it was enough to qualify. You don't even have to have perfect credit to get a VA loan. And you can start with the first deal. And, who would have known, buying that duplex in Centerville, Georgia, that one side of it, and now to be at 120 units in a portfolio, multiple apartment complexes, that is phenomenal. But it all starts with one deal. And guess what? For you, it starts with one deal and continue to show up in that consistency over time, where now you can build wealth that you can hand down to your family over time. That's what it's all about. But you got to get out there, you got to take action, and you got to take the first step. Chapter 4 of my book, Millionaire Real Estate Success Strategies, What They Forgot to Teach You in School. Chapter 4 is all about take action. If you haven't read the book, I highly encourage you to go through, and it shares my story, but 30 other real estate investors that were successful and continue to build wealth through real estate. And the quote that I love, chapter 4 from Thomas Jefferson, it says, "Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you." And that's what it's all about, y'all. You got to take action and define who you are. And that's where it all starts. And because so many people, we get caught up on the YouTube videos, the podcasts, the books, and how I know because I was there. That it took me multiple years to get started, but I eventually got there and started that process. And if you're a veteran, or if you're not a veteran, busy professional, and you're looking at, hey, how do I put my financial plan? How do I set myself up for success long term? Go to my website, johnnylineup.com. I have a ton of resources for vets on how to use your VA loan, the strategies that I've used. But then we also have the retirement workbook that you can download. It's 100% free. You can download the simplified version if you want to get the paid workbook. That's over 20 pages that you can go through and actually build out your financial plan. You can do that. Or, for those that want to join our mastermind, we're actually about to get ready to kick off our next quarter of expert series where we're bringing in our financial advisors, our CPAs, our insurance reps that's going to be coming in, talking to the mastermind community, to the group, and helping them get everything squared away, sharing the latest changes in their space. We're going to be going through estate planning, setting those things up. Deal flow as well too. So if you're looking to join the mastermind group, you want to be around a community of go-getters that are taking action and building wealth and building passive income, then set up your consultation call. We'd love to have a conversation with you and help you start building wealth. Let's go and let's make some equity happen, y'all. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video. Let's go.